Good afternoon. Today we are going to revise manufacturing industries and our subtopic is agglomeration economy. Yesterday also we have discussed part of the same topic, which is agglomeration economy, and where we have learned about the theories of industrial location, which can be an ideal location for locating the industry. And we have learned about some physical and geographical factors such as raw material, climate, water, power, like that, and also economic or cultural factors like capital, market, transport, government policy, etc. All right. So these are the factors which determine the location of an industry, and we know that if there is an industry, then the next stage is urbanization. So urbanization follows industrialization. Wherever there is industry, then around the industry, the urban growth also takes place. And another scenario is that industrialization and urbanization is simultaneous. एक साथ जहां इंडस्ट्री का काम चलता है, वहां उसके आसपास अर्बनाइजेशन का भी काम चलता है। ऑलराइट। और उसमें पता चला है कि जैसे जैसे अर्बन सेंटर का जैसे जैसे ग्रोथ होता है, तो उसके चलते इंडस्ट्री को भी कुछ बेनिफिट फ्यूचर में मिल जाते हैं। The industries make use of the advantages provided by the urban centers, and which we have already noted down, such as an urban center or a city provide them with banking and insurance facilities. There is efficient transport network. Then there is supply of cheap and skilled and trained labor or semi-skilled labor is available all the time in plenty. Then financial consultants are there. All right, how can you manage your finance? What is your planning strategy related to the spending of money or deposit of money or transfer of money? Whatever you want it for your industry, you can get the technical assistance and consultancy services from the large cities or urban centers. These were not needed 100 years ago or 200 years ago in the industrial or pre-industrial phase. Maybe a few hundred years ago, we did not need that much of technical assistance. But at present, any industry, if it wants to become successful, it has to take care of many other factors. And some of these factors are these financial services or banking and insurance services. All right. आज हमारे दिनचर्या में, हमारे डेली लाइफ में भी हमको जो है कुछ इस तरह से जो है होम प्लानिंग भी करना पड़ता है, जिसमें हम इंश्योरेंस खरीदते हैं, ऑटोमोबाइल इंश्योरेंस खरीदते हैं, और क्रॉप अगर मान लो फार्मिंग है, मेरा जमीन है, तो उसमें भी हम इंश्योरेंस को जो है प्रीमियम भरते रहते हैं. So these are the sectors which have actually become mutually interdependent. और यही है एग्लोमरेशन. मतलब ही है, the word agglomeration means group, an economy which works together. So all these work together, and the industry make use of these facilities provided by the urban centers. And what in return the urban center get? The urban center also has the advantage of an industrial region. It means it can get the necessary cement, it can get the necessary power supply, it can get the necessary water supply, which was previously a must precondition for industrial development. बिना इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के, बिना ट्रांसपोर्ट के, बिना पावर के जो है हम इंडस्ट्री सोच नहीं सकते हैं. जो पावर, जो वाटर, जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इंडस्ट्री के लिए काम आ रहा था, सेम इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज हेल्पफुल फॉर द अर्बन सेंटर. ओके, तो ये पार्ट जो है ये समझ में आया एग्लोमरेशन इकोनॉमी. और छोटे छोटे एग्जांपल भी हम लोग दिए हैं पहले एग्लोमरेशन इकोनॉमी के लिए, कि कैसे हर शहर में जो है ऑटो रिक्शा चलते हैं, तो गैरेज वाले को भी कुछ उसमें जो है इनकम का अपॉर्चुनिटी है ना. पेट्रोल पंप को इनकम करने का अपॉर्चुनिटी है, और स्पेयर पार्ट्स दुकान को अपॉर्चुनिटी है. तो एक बड़े शहर में देखो जितने गाड़ी चलेंगे उसके लिए जो है गैरेज बन गए हैं, पेट्रोल पंप बन गए हैं, उसके लिए स्पेयर पार्ट्स दुकान बन गए हैं. तो one activity links the other activity, and there is scope of improvement also. Now, as I told just now that 100 years ago or 200 years ago, so many technicalities, so many criticalities were not there. All right. But in our country, if we look at the history of industrialization in our country, our pre-independence period was the British period. At that time, the Britishers developed Kolkata, Madras, and Bombay. These were the three presidencies of the British India. And they carried out, they planned all of their economic activity through these three presidencies. So what happened? All these areas, Kolkata, Chennai, and Mumbai, become industrial center. They had a seaport, they had road connectivity, railway connectivity with each other. And all the British planning was based on these three presidencies. And these areas were surrounded by agricultural land. These areas were surrounded by agricultural field. So entire country was having a rural setting. And these three presidencies had ultra modern or ultra urban characteristics. All right. So in that way, what happened? They could arrange the necessary food grains for their own survival, for rest of the country, and whatever the industrial activity was carried out through these three presidencies, that also helped the spread of industries in and around these three particular presidencies only. So this is one scenario of pre-independence era, and the rest of the country was having rural surroundings. It means Kolkata was surrounded by rural area, Mumbai was surrounded by the cotton farmers, here jute farmers were there. And we also know that the northern plains are agriculturally rich area. The peninsular plateau was rich in minerals, and most of them were actually based on Bangalore or Chennai. And after independence, we have planned our own industrial development. The keywords are revised once again. So it is about the pre-independence scenario. Kolkata, Chennai, and Mumbai were the industrial hub or industrial pockets where there was British support also. At that time, the Britishers entered India through either Chennai or Mumbai or Kolkata. There was a seaport, and there all the internal resources, all the minerals that they wanted to take to Britain were actually being sent through the ports of Kolkata or Chennai or Mumbai. Hence, they became pockets of industrial activity, and rest of the country had a rural characteristic, or backwardness was there in rest of the country. And it was quite well planned strategy of the British to keep the country backward, and those areas of their interest, which were Bombay or Chennai or Kolkata, which were their own forts, which were their own centers for trade, they developed those areas first. Now let us discuss about another schematic diagram which explains about the industry market linkage. In this schematic diagram, we will discuss about industry and market linkage. We have drawn one box and we have written here as input. Suppose you want to start industry, what are the inputs that is needed to start the industry? We need the factors of production like land, labor, we need money or capital, and we need management or entrepreneurship. And also some other inputs are like raw material is there, and you need the water supply, you need electricity. So these are considered as inputs along with the factors of production. So for all these things, you need money. You have to spend money for all the arrangement of factors of production and the other necessary inputs to start the factory. Then you have to bring the input to the factory. How you will bring it? Here we see the role of transport sector. The inputs, the factors of production are arranged with the help of transport facilities. So all the inputs are brought to the factory, then the production is going on here. And the finished products are needed to be taken out of the factory side. So again, we will see the role of transport. So from factory, the output is taken from with the help of transport and communication. And then the output is needed to be distributed or brought to the market. Here also we need transport facilities. So we have to pay for the transport facility in our entire internal system of industry. So once the product is brought to the market, then the money is generated. People will come, people will place their order, they will purchase their necessities, and whatever is their demand, that they will get. And in return, that money, which is obtained in all this process and production and bringing the factors of production, that money is reinvested. So this schematic diagram explains industry and market linkage. So industry market linkage is nothing but the role of transport in every stage of production, processing, distribution, marketing. Next subheading is classification of industries. So if we see here S, it means plural. It means that there are several industries in a country. And in every country, there are lot of industries. Suppose in India, suppose there are 10 iron and steel plants. Suppose there are 10 cement industry, 10 cotton textile industry, 10 jute industry. In that way, there are number of industries, and that number may be reaching 1,000 or 10,000 and more industries in the country. So if there are so many industries, now there must be some basis of classifying the industries. We need some basis upon which we will classify the industries and note down the main characteristics of such industries. So classification of industry gives us the basis, like on the basis of size. Industry may be large, medium, small, cottage industry, like that, on the basis of industry ownership. On the basis of ownership, the industry may be private, it may be public, it may be joint, it may be cooperative, it may be multinational, MNC. Likewise, on the basis of main role, On the basis of main role, they may be a basic industry, or consumer. They may be basic industry or consumer goods industry on the basis of the sources of raw materials. They may be agro-based industry, mineral-based industry, forest-based industry, animal-based industry, marine-based industry. All right, on the basis of their nature of raw material, they may be heavy industry or light industry. So in that way, we can find out a lot of basis of classification of industries. So one such basis of classification of industry is size. And we all know about some industries are very big. Those industries which are very big, they have certain characteristics. Just like they have large area, they employ more labor, they bring in more raw material, they are able to distribute their final goods to wide and far off places. All right, so depending upon the amount of money spent, if it is less than 1 crore or up to 1 crore, they are considered as small scale industry. If investment is more than 1 crore, they are considered as medium or large scale industry. However, this amount 1 crore now, it may be edited. It might have been changed today because we are in 2022. So 1 crore is very small in comparison to the amount of investment already made by the small scale and cottage industries. Many small scale and cottage industries also exceed their capital investment of 1 crore rupees. आज छोटे इंडस्ट्री और कॉटेज इंडस्ट्री भी 1 करोड़ से ज्यादा खर्चा करके अपने इंडस्ट्री को स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, लेकिन बुक में जो है वही हम लोग जो है अपना बेसिस मान के इसको समझने की कोशिश करेंगे. So large scale industry means that it employ large amount of money in labor, arranging the raw material and production processing, and it can distribute the final goods to very far off places. Whereas small scale industries, investment is less, land acquisition, power supply, machinery, technicalities, labor payment, all these things are in small amount. And medium is neither not large, not small. Cottage means mostly it is run by family members or neighbors or relatives. All right, it is in the village, and they bring local raw material, they distribute their product to the local markets only. So in that way, cottage industries are household industries or village industries also. Then on the basis of ownership, मालिकाना, industry का मालिक कौन है? On the basis of ownership, private sector industry like Reliance is there, like Tata Sons is there. All right, Mahindra and Mahindra is there, Godrej is there, Bajaj is there. So all these are private sector industries because they are owned and managed by private sector. The industries are privately managed. Then public sector industries are run by the government. For example, Indian Railways, Post and Telegraph, Defense. All right, these are absolutely and exclusively public sector industries. Next is joint sector, the industries which are jointly run by private and public. One example is the hospital, nursing home. There are government hospital, there is private hospital and nursing home. There is government school, there is private school teaching the same curriculum. DAV is a private school and DAV teaches the CBSE curriculum. So the objective of joint sector is same, but they compete with each other. Who is better? Kendriya Vidyalaya is better or DAV and DPS is better? So it depends upon the competition, the input, the strategy, the planning. Government also plans, private also sector also plans, and they are jointly doing the same work. Next comes a cooperative sector. In a cooperative, there are members. कुछ लोग पहले आपस में मिलके बातचीत करके पहले मेंबर बनने का जो है सिस्टम को स्टार्ट करते हैं कि हम लोग मेंबर बनेंगे, एंड मेंबरशिप का फी होता है 100 रुपीज, 500 रुपीज, 1000 रुपीज, 10,000 रुपी, ये मेंबर कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं पैसे. आफ्टर दैट दे स्टार्ट एन इंडस्ट्रियल एक्टिविटी. वो इंडस्ट्रियल एक्टिविटी में उनके जमा किए गए पैसे मेंबरशिप मनी से वो अपना इंडस्ट्री को रन करते हैं. आफ्टर दैट whatever profit is there, that is equally distributed. Whatever loss is there, that is also equally distributed. So in a cooperative sector, there are members who equally share their profit and loss. Later on, what happens if the cooperative is very successful? It works like a private sector or public sector. और cooperative में जैसे लोग बढ़ने लगते हैं, तो cooperative का जो approach और outlook है, वो बाकी commercial industries और private sector या government sector industries जैसे वो काम करने लगते हैं. And one of them, last category is multinational corporation. They can be anyone. It may be a private sector, it may be a joint sector venture, and they may be called as multinational only when if they are having their branches in several countries. So some example is Samsung is there, Coca-Cola is there, Apple is there. All right. So these companies operate their industry in several countries of the world. So they are MNC. ठीक है. हो सकता है इंडियन रेलवेज कोशिश करती है कि बांग्लादेश में भी रेलवे का कुछ सर्विस दे दे. इंडियन रेलवेज कोशिश करेगी नेपाल में भी. तब वो अकेले नहीं, वो कुछ पार्ट जो है वो प्राइवेटली जॉइंट वेंचर बना के गवर्नमेंट ऑफ नेपाल, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ भूटान, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ बांग्लादेश के साथ एग्रीमेंट साइन कर सकती है. इस तरह से एक गवर्नमेंट कंपनी का भी मल्टीनेशनल एक्सपोजर मिल सकता है. ठीक है. तो नेक्स्ट इज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ मेन रोल. On the basis of main role, the industries are basic industries or consumer goods industries. So basic industries are those industries which are absolutely necessary and very important for the fabrication, for the manufacturing, for the construction of other industries. One example is cement or iron and coal. Without energy, we cannot think of any industry, so we need coal. So coal is basic industry. Without cement, we cannot go for any construction. So cement is also a basic industry. And without iron, we cannot create any machine or we cannot fabricate any industrial space. कोई भी XYZ इंडस्ट्री भी बनाना है तो हमको लोहे का छड़ चाहिए, सीमेंट चाहिए और बिजली के लिए कोल या थर्मल पावर चाहिए. So these are called as basic industries because they are very important, very critical and crucial for the development of other industries. नेक्स्ट इज कंज्यूमर गुड्स इंडस्ट्रीज, जो कि हम लोग का आम आदमी के जो जिंदगी में जो व्यवहार हो रहे हैं, तेल, साबुन, डिटर्जेंट, परफ्यूम, जो भी लग्जरीज है उसमें और नेसेसिटीज है, मिला जुला के जो भी कंज्यूमेबल प्रोडक्ट्स है उनको हम लोग जो है कंज्यूमर गुड्स इंडस्ट्रीज बोल देते हैं. ऑलराइट. ये भी कंज्यूमर गुड्स इंडस्ट्रीज को भी डिवाइड कर लेते हैं नेसेसरी एंड लग्जरी में. जैसे सॉल्ट इज नेसेसरी, फूड ग्रेन्स इज नेसेसरी, whereas car and mobile and perfume are luxury items. ठीक है. बोर्ड में लिखे नहीं है लेकिन हमने एक और क्लासिफिकेशन बताया था, नेचर ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल. दे कैन बी हेवी इंडस्ट्री, दे कैन बी लाइट वेट इंडस्ट्री. एक बल्ब का फिलामेंट है, एक मोबाइल का सिम कार्ड है, ये सब लाइट वेट है. रॉ मटेरियल्स आर लाइट, फिनिश्ड प्रोडक्ट्स आर आल्सो लाइट. तो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गुड्स, स्पेयर पार्ट्स इंडस्ट्रीज, दे आर लाइट वेट इंडस्ट्रीज. लेकिन हेवी इंडस्ट्री एंड बल्की इंडस्ट्री में हो गए हमारे आयरन हो गए, हमारे लिए कोल हो गया. कोल भी भारी भरकम है. सीमेंट इज आल्सो क्वाइट हेवी, है ना. तो हेवी इंडस्ट्रीज में रॉ मटेरियल एंड फिनिश्ड प्रोडक्ट्स बोथ आर वेरी हेवी. One more classification is there on the basis of sources of raw material. तुम्हारे इंडस्ट्री का रॉ मटेरियल कहाँ से उपलब्ध होगा? तो on the basis of sources of raw material, we classify the industries as agro-based industry. एग्जाम्पल है कॉटन. अगर मान लो मेरा कॉटन टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री है तो हमको कॉटन का इंतजार रहेगा, वो एग्रीकल्चर से आएंगे. अगर मेरा जूट है, रबर है, ग्राउंडनट है, कोकोनट इंडस्ट्री है, तो हमको एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोडक्ट का इंतजार करना पड़ेगा. ऑलराइट, तो ये हो गया एग्रो बेस्ड. फॉरेस्ट बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री, फॉरेस्ट बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री कोई बता सकते हो? हमने एग्रीकल्चर बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री बताया, क्या फॉरेस्ट बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री बता सकते हो? आसिका इज देयर हु ऑकेशनली रिस्पॉन्ड्स.
सर फॉरेस्ट इंडस्ट्री से सर हम लोग पेपर का सर जैसे होता है.
वेरी गुड, पेपर. और कुछ प्लाईवुड बन सकता है.
क्या?
प्लाईवुड.
यस सर.
आएंगे. पेंसिल छीले हो क्या? कटर से पेंसिल छीले हो?
यस सर.
उसमें पेंसिल के पतला 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 वुडन मैटर फ्लेक्स जैसा बाहर आता है ना, वैसे बड़े स्टेम को भी हम लोग जो है छील के प्लाईवुड बना सकते हैं.
यस सर.
बहुत बड़ा पेड़ का अगर तना है, स्टेम है, बहुत हार्डवुड है, तो हम एक नया ऑपरेटर एक बड़े तरह का कटर से उससे भी छील छील के उसका छाल को हम निकाल सकते हैं, पतले पतले लेयर्स को, उसको पेस्ट करके हम प्लाईवुड बना सकते हैं. और आज के डेट में प्लाईवुड जो है सारे जगह में, दुनिया भर में प्लाईवुड का बिजनेस चल रहा है, जो कि एक फॉरेस्ट प्रोडक्ट है. टिम्बर है ही, जो भी लकड़ी है उससे हम फर्नीचर बना ले रहे हैं, उससे अलमीरा बना ले रहे हैं, चेयर टेबल पलंग बना ले रहे हैं. Other forest-based industries could be any leaf or root or nut or fruit or medicine or wax or honey, like that. So many forest products are there, and so many industries can also be started using forest product as raw material. Next, मिनरल बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री. ये तो सबसे कॉमन हो गया मिनरल बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री. जैसे आयरन हो गया, उसको हमको आयरन ओर लाने होंगे. एक पत्थर जिसमें आयरन ओर मौजूद होगा, उस पत्थर को लाएंगे, तोड़ेंगे, उसको साफ करेंगे, उसको पिघलाएंगे और हम उसमें से लोहा निकाल लेंगे. दूसरा एक और पत्थर होगा जो कि बॉक्साइट होगा, उससे हम एल्यूमिनियम निकाल सकते हैं. ऐसे ही पाइराइट्स है, ऐसे ही और भी ओर्स है, जो रॉक फॉर्मिंग मिनरल्स है, जो ओर फॉर्म या मिनरल में जो भी मेटल मौजूद है, वो हमको जो है मिनरल बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री स्टार्ट करने में मदद करेंगे. इज इट क्लियर? तो हमने 3 बताए हैं, एग्रो बेस्ड, फॉरेस्ट बेस्ड, मिनरल बेस्ड. क्या मैरीन बेस्ड या ओशन बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री हो सकते हैं? सोच के बताओ तो. ओशन से कोई इंडस्ट्री हम स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं? कोई बच्चा जो ओशियानिक या मैरीन रिसोर्स के बारे में आइडिया है तो बता सकते हो. नमक, सॉल्ट इंडस्ट्री ओशन वाटर से बना सकते हैं. तो ओशन बेस्ड जो है, हाँ, उसमें हमको गोल्ड भी मिल सकता है. ओशन के नीचे बहुत सारा बालू है, ओशन के नीचे बहुत सारे रिवर डिपॉजिट जमा हो रहे हैं, वहां से हमको गोल्ड मिल सकता है, पेट्रोलियम मिल सकता है. ठीक है. तो ओशन बेस्ड में हमको पर्ल मिल सकते हैं, फिश मिल सकता है, हम तरह तरह के मछली बेच के जो है पैसा कमा सकते हैं और इंडस्ट्री बना सकते हैं. और कुछ तो उसमें से हमको केमिकल्स भी मिल जाते हैं, जैसे मछली वगैरह जो है ये ऑर्गेनिक सोर्सेस है. हाँ, आदित्य राज लिख रहे हैं वैक्स फॉर कैंडल्स, वो फॉरेस्ट बेस्ड हो गए. वैक्स फॉर कैंडल्स इज फॉरेस्ट बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री. दैट वैक्स कैन बी कलेक्टेड फ्रॉम द बी हाइव. जो मधुमक्खी का छत्ता है, वहां से हमको नेचुरल वैक्स मिल जाएंगे. और हमको ओशियानिक रिसोर्सेस के बारे में हम लोग डिस्कस कर रहे थे, जो कि समुंदर से हमको कुछ मैंगनीज मिल जाता है, कभी गोल्ड मिल गया, कभी पेट्रोलियम मिल गया, कभी हमको पर्ल मिल गए. तो दीज आर द ओशियानिक रिसोर्सेस. लास्ट वाला बच गया है एनिमल बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री। एनिमल बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री से एनिमल का हमको मिल्क मिल रहा है, मीट मिल रहा है, स्किन मिल रहे हैं, हॉर्न मिल रहा है, टस्क मिल रहे हैं, हाथी का दांत, आइवरी या टस्क बोल सकते हैं। और इस तरह से हमको जो है बहुत सारे एनिमल बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री भी हम सेटअप कर सकते हैं। And we have already mentioned that there are number of industries in any country in the world, and we need to classify the industries after having identifying some basis of their classification. This much for today. Bye bye to all of you. It's hardly 1 minute remaining now.